back to ETBU Extra. Moving into our next segment, time now to talk baseball. It's hard to believe the Tiger baseball season starts tomorrow as the Tigers are at home to host Chapman University with a 7 p.m. start against the team that comes all the way from Orange, California to play the Tigers. We're now visiting with Jared Hood of the ETBU Tiger baseball team, and Coach, tomorrow is opening day.
Opening day, man. It's what we work for all year and what we look forward to. So, we'll come out and compete and see what happens.
Now, this is what I like about opening day. Of course, you got the two teams out on the baselines, the national anthem sung. But here's what I like to hear about opening day is when the umpire says, "Play ball," because that means the season has started.
Yep.
As you play Chapman University and Lamar University, kind of tell me a little bit about the team and how did you get them on the schedule, because they come from Orange, California.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was really something that we inherited from Lee when he was here in scheduling. But on a personal note, I mean, this matchup kind of hits home for me a little bit because when I was at Tyler, we went to the regional in Oregon. I mean, Chapman was the team we played, and it was one of those things in those matchups where it was one of the most anticipated matchups through the regional term. And, we were looking forward to it, felt like they were looking forward to it. And then when we met, we came out on the short end of the stick. So on a personal level, this brings a little bit more to the table for me.
In case folks don't know anything about Chapman University, I did some research today. They're an NCAA Division III school, just like ETBU. They play in the Southern California Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, and they do have a storied program, like you said. Kind of talk a little bit about what you know about their program. You already mentioned a little bit as you played them when you played college baseball, but kind of talk a little bit more about your opponent coming into Woods Field.
Just in all aspects of the game, they're very well coached. And from when we played them, I'm sure there's not going to be a whole lot that's changed, but in all aspects of the game, very fundamentally sound. They play hard. They've got some good arms. They're going to be able to hit, and they're definitely going to be able to run. So we're going to have to bring it and be clicking on all 8 cylinders. But, I think our guys are up to the challenge.
The game tomorrow night against Chapman starts at 7 p.m. It's a night game at Woods Field. How do you combat the cold as a baseball player? How do pitchers stay warm? How do other guys stay loose? How do you combat that cold?
Well, it's just you got to keep moving. The fortunate thing about February baseball in Texas, the kids have been doing this their whole lives, so it's not really that much of an adjustment because they've been doing it. So I would feel that it'd be more of an adjustment from the California kids coming to Texas than really our own guys. But we try to get them into a rhythm and doing the same things every day and moving around and good stretching programs and moving around to break a good sweat. So.
Visiting with the head coach of Tiger Baseball, Jared Hood, a local boy, grew up here in Marshall, Texas. And Jared, I'd like for you now to talk about your coaching staff and kind of tell me what are their responsibilities during a game, and as the head coach, what is your responsibilities during a game as you manage the team? Kind of take us through that.
Our assistant coach and pitching coach, Kyle Palmer, his main duties are to call pitches during the game, to kind of make any in-game adjustments with our pitchers as we go along. Coach Peterson, helps with me and the hitters. He really controls the corners of the defensive alignment in the infield. Also coaches first base, and relays some information to those guys that we kind of talk about in between innings. Coach Seibert, he'll help with the pitchers within the game, kind of manage the bullpen area a little bit, get guys hot when they need to get hot, and keep guys loose when they need to get loose. And then Coach Wyndham, that's helping us out this year, he's really our dugout coach type guy, and he knew how to hit a little bit, so
he did.
The thought is that he can help relay some of that information to some of our hitters as far as the pitchers' tendencies and what they're doing.
Now, do you still chart your opponent? I remember back playing in high school, we had this clipboard, and usually the sophomore on the team had to chart every pitch. And you got a hit, you marked it on the sheet. Mm-hmm. Do you still kind of do that at the college level?
Absolutely. Baseball is one of those games that, everything is analyzed statistically, and it's the same thing with us. The biggest thing for us is really opponent spray charts. And tendencies of their hitters and things like that, because a lot of things. Good thing about the internet, there's a lot of readily available information and anything that we can gather, about our opponents and guys that we're going to play and we're going to take advantage of. But it also allows us to keep track of our guys and how they're progressing or degressing, and to help those guys out as well.
Been with Jared Hood, Tiger baseball coach, in his first year as the head coach. And I don't know if you've thought about this yet tomorrow, but it's your first collegiate game to coach. How do you deal with the butterflies? Or maybe you won't have any butterflies.
Well, you go out there, and the butterflies are, the past 2 weeks in practice, just making sure that, all of our angles are covered, everything, every defensive situation, every offensive situation, how are your guys feeling? Are they, are they hurting? Are they sick? Or are they going through? And then when game time comes, man, we just strap it up and go, and hope our preparation speaks for itself.
I was looking over your roster today, kind of picking out some folks that you got on your roster from East Texas that maybe some of the folks in East Texas would love to come out. Dylan Bowman, of course, is from Gilmer, Texas. Ben Beltran is he's from El Paso. I don't know why I put him down on that list. Oh, he's a senior, that's why. But you got Brooks Lloyd, who played at Harleton. You also have another kid from Harleton, Tyler Henson, on your squad.
Yes.
You got some folks from Hallsville, Josh Warbington, two-sport player. It's kind of good to see folks from East Texas on your squad because it gives a chance for folks to come out and see these guys who played great high school baseball.
Right. Well, and there's the thing about East Texas, there's a lot of ball players here that can play at the collegiate level. Now, it's a lot easier to go into these metroplex areas and see a greater number of kids at any one given time. But the good thing about East Texas is they're here, but you have to kind of go out and hunt for them and beat the bushes a little bit. But, we're going to keep getting them as long as they'll come in and play hard for us, and we'll go about it that way.
Opening series for the Tigers this weekend have 18 home dates on your schedule. Chapman tomorrow night at 7, Friday at 5 p.m., and Saturday at 10 a.m. We talked about this last week, but that's kind of a different type of schedule you normally play. Normally it's a Friday-Saturday series, but kind of explain to us again why this is a single game 3 days in a row.
Well, with Chapman coming in a long trip and kind of to make it worth their while, we'll stretch it out against 3 games, also to allow for the weather, because, it's a lot different than canceling a charter bus drive 2 hours from Dallas than canceling an entire flight. So it gives us some wiggle room to be able to move games around if need be. But, the early start Saturday, they've got to get out and catch a flight. So that kind of settles that.
Never thought about that because you got those 3 days. If it happened to rain Thursday, you could try to do it over on Friday or on Saturday. Well, maybe Saturday with the flight, but still.
Well, until yesterday or the day before, we actually had quite a bit of rain in the forecast for tomorrow, and I think now we're pretty good and clear. So, we dodged a bullet there, but we'll be ready to hook it up.
Been with head coach Jared Hood of the Tiger baseball. Best to you and the Tigers tomorrow night. Ready for the umpire to say, play ball.
There you go.
All right. Tigers open up the season tomorrow night, 7 p.m. at Woods Field. Hope you can come out. They have a series against Chapman University from Orange, California, Friday at 5, Saturday, early Saturday morning at 10 a.m. You can miss your cartoons if you come out. That's going to wrap up this segment of E2 Extra with the head coach of Tiger baseball, Jared Hood. Coming up next, we'll talk Tiger tennis. Tigers are getting ready for their first match of the year this Friday. Jeff Bramlett join us next on E2 Extra live from CC's in Marshall, Texas.